Hello, my name is Mia. Today I want to tell you about an exciting and a little scary day in my life. This morning I woke up early because I had to go to the airport. I was traveling alone for the first time, and I was both excited and nervous. Let me tell you all about it. Part 1, Waking Up Early. My alarm rang at 6 a.m. I opened my eyes slowly. The room was still dark, but I could see the first light of the day coming through the window. I felt a little sleepy, but I knew I had to get up. Today was a big day. I smiled to myself and said, "Today is the day I travel to a new city." I slowly got out of bed, stretched my arms, and walked to the bathroom. The cool water from the sink helped me wake up. I washed my face and brushed my teeth carefully. I looked in the mirror and smiled. "I'm ready for today," I said to myself. Part 2, Preparing for the trip. After I finished getting ready, I went to the kitchen to make breakfast. I like to have a simple breakfast in the morning. Today I had toast with jam and a cup of tea. I felt nervous and excited at the same time. As I ate, I looked at my suitcase. I had packed it the night before. I checked everything again: clothes, my passport, my tickets, and my phone charger. I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything important. At 7:30 a.m., my taxi arrived to take me to the airport. I said goodbye to my family and got in the taxi. The taxi ride to the airport was long. I looked out the window and saw busy streets, people walking and cars everywhere. I couldn't help but feel a little nervous. What if I made a mistake at the airport? What if I missed my flight? But then I reminded myself, everything will be fine. I am prepared. Part 3, Arriving at the airport. When I arrived at the airport, I was amazed by how big it was. There were so many people. Some were walking quickly, some were sitting, and some were talking on their phones. I took a deep breath and said to myself, just stay calm. I looked around for signs that would show me where to go. There were big signs above me that said check-in, security, and gates. I walked to the check-in counter and stood in line. I felt nervous because it was my first time flying alone. It was my turn. The lady at the counter smiled and asked, "Hello, how can I help you?" I said, "Hi, I have a flight to London." She asked for my passport and my ticket. I handed them to her, and she checked everything on the computer. "Your flight is on time," she said. "Please place your bag on the scale." I put my bag on the scale, and it weighed just right. She gave me my boarding pass and said, "Your gate is number 12. Have a good flight." I thanked her and walked towards the security check. Part 4, The security problem. When I got to the security check, there was a line. I waited my turn, but then, as I put my bag on the conveyor belt, something went wrong. The machine made a loud noise, and the security officer asked, "Please step aside, we need to check your bag." I was nervous. What could be wrong? The officer opened my bag and pulled out a bottle of water. "You can't take water through security," she said. "You'll need to throw it away." I felt embarrassed and quickly said, "I'm sorry." She smiled and said, "It's okay. Just remember for next time." I quickly threw the bottle away and continued through the security check. Part 5, Waiting for the flight. After the security check, I walked to my gate. I was a little tired from all the walking, so I decided to sit down. I had some time before the flight, so I checked my phone. I called my family to let them know everything was okay. They were happy to hear from me. The airport was full of people, some in a hurry, some just waiting. I saw people reading books, listening to music, and even taking naps. I decided to listen to music while I waited for my flight. Finally, the announcement came: "Flight to London, Gate 12, is ready for boarding." My heart raced. This was it. I stood up, grabbed my bag, and walked towards the gate. Part 6, On the plane. I walked down the bridge to the airplane. The flight attendant smiled and greeted me as I entered the plane. I found my seat and sat down by the window. I looked out and saw the plane's wings moving slowly. The flight was long, but I enjoyed it. I had a nice meal on the plane, and I watched a movie. The flight attendants were very friendly, and they made sure I was comfortable. I felt relaxed and happy. Part 7. Arriving in London. After a few hours, the captain announced, "We are now landing in London. Please fasten your seatbelts." I felt excited. This was my first time in London. When the plane landed, everyone clapped. I was so happy that I had made it. I followed the signs to immigration and showed my passport to the officer. She smiled and said, "Welcome to London." Part 8. Exploring the city. After getting my luggage, I took a taxi to my hotel. The city was beautiful. I saw big buildings, parks, and many people walking on the streets. I was excited to start exploring London. Conclusion. It was a long day, but I had a wonderful adventure. Traveling alone can be a little scary, but it was also fun. I learned a lot and solved my small problem at the airport. Now I am in a new city, ready to make more memories. I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow. This version is longer, with pauses between each section for easier listening. The vocabulary is simple, and it fits well for a 20-minute podcast, especially if read slowly with pauses for reflection and understanding.